What's going on, guys? I'm Danny, and thank you so much for checking out my channel, Bluray Dan. Guys, I just finished watching the Cloverfield Paradox. It's like 1:30 in the morning on Super Bowl Sunday, kind of now Monday. I didn't expect this. I don't think anybody did. So I just wanted to go in, watch it, and give you guys my first initial thoughts and kind of review it and give you guys my opinions, my feedback. I hope you don't mind. I'm going to go to my notes a couple times on here. Before I go into any of this, I just want to say if you guys are, if you do enjoy this video, you could please hit that the like button, leave a comment, let me know what you thought of the movie in the comment section down below. Share the video if you wind up enjoying it. And yeah, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. I'd really, really appreciate that. You got plenty of videos on here. Now let me jump right into this. My thoughts on the Cloverfield franchise. First and foremost, I loved Cloverfield, the original one. I'm born in New York. That's where it took place. I'm born and raised in New York. I absolutely love. I think it was one of the first movies that I really saw that was that had the found footage feel. I was just so like, I don't know. I loved every second of it. I feel like I was going along with the characters. I absolutely love that. The movie was creepy. It was funny. It was very dark and kind of serious, but it had just a whole different feel. Like I said, it was one of the first found footage films that I'd seen, and it was just very, very different. And I love seeing the camera go through New York and stuff like that, especially because my family, my brother and I always have a camera as we go wherever we go throughout the city. So it felt very relatable. And even though, you know, this stuff isn't realistic, it just felt like this stuff was actually happening. That movie was great. I love that. It's one of my favorite movies. I really always enjoyed that one. And then I was so excited when 10 Cloverfield Lane was coming out. That one was announced very, very close to the release date as well, just like this one. That one, I believe, was maybe like 4 months, maybe even 2 months before it was released. I was super excited. Unfortunately, I went into the movie thinking that it was going to be a direct sequel. That was not the case. I wound up leaving the theater. I was very disappointed, but I wound up giving myself some time. I rewatched it. I was able to just say, hey, listen, it's a different film altogether. There's a connection without there exactly being a connection, if that makes sense. And go with it and rewatch it with an open mind. And I wound up loving it. The cast, John Goodman did great. Everybody else in that movie did absolutely great. And the acting was fantastic. The movie was very intense. And you never knew what was going to happen next. And I really, really enjoyed it. It actually wound up being one of my top 10 movies, I believe, of 2016. Fast forward to now, there was always talk of a third movie in the trilogy, or to complete like a trilogy. There was no news really released until as of recent, where they said recently that maybe we'd get some news. I think it's supposed to drop in a few months, and I thought that was cool. You know, I like the idea of you know, you don't get that nowadays. You find out years in it, or a year like before it's released. You get the plot of the movie, the characters, this and that, what's gonna happen, trailer after teaser trailer. It's so annoying, and I love how they do this, where it's just like, hey, listen, we're releasing a movie, boom, it's here. So I thought that was really cool. To our surprise, I'd heard that it was going to possibly be a Netflix release, and I wasn't a big fan of that. But I, you know, had high hopes anyway. And little do I know, Super Bowl's here, and Netflix says, "Hey, listen, guys, we're releasing it tonight." And my first thought was like the trailer, but no, the movie. And I was extremely excited. You know, even though again, straight to Netflix, I'm not the biggest straight to Netflix movie fan. There's been a couple that I really enjoyed, but for the most part, I just have not enjoyed all of them, a lot of them, and but still went into this with high hopes. Now this movie right here, the story kind of takes place. It kind of follows the story of this character. Her name is Ava Hamilton. She's played by I forget. I don't know how to say the name. Juju McBatha Raw, something like that. I apologize. It follows. It kind of, the story revolves around her and her family, kind of, sorta. She's an astronaut. They have to go into space, and they're going to be doing some scientific space experiments for either unlimited energy or renewable energy to kind of save the human race and help out. And what happens are, I guess they try and they fail. They try and they fail. They try and they fail, and they're up there in space for years. And they get close to hitting this, I guess, to making it work, and then they wind up getting sucked into a whole different, like, dimension, like an alternate universe, and so many things kind of go wrong here. Now the movie it's got a big cast, and I think it's a big cast of, I want to say, like B-list actors. No offense to any of them, but that's kind of what it is. You get again, you get Juju Macbeth of Raw, Daniel Brohl, Chris Adoud, David Oyelowo. Sorry, man, he's the biggest one that I've seen out of all of them, and then John Ortiz and a few other people as well. I feel like even though it's not like a tremendous cast, the movie kind of has issues focusing, which I find with all large cast movies, or majority of them, where it just doesn't know who it wants to follow or tell the story to. It can't just focus on one specific person, and that drives me nuts sometimes, and that kind of is what happened with this film as well. Yeah, it jumps back and forth. It didn't feel like any of the cast members fit the role properly. David Oyelowo, man, I'm having a hard time with his name. He's supposed to be like the commander of the whole entire ship, and I just couldn't take him seriously at all in this film. This Juju or Gugu who played Hamilton, or Ava, she was kind of like, I want to say like she was the lead role technically, and I feel like nothing was taken seriously, or I think maybe she did a good job. She didn't even have many lines for like 3/4 of the movie. This is like mind-boggling to me. Like she was put in situations, not that her acting was bad or anything, but I feel like it was just placed in such lackluster situations, or even like situations where people there were deaths of other people on there, on the ship, and it was just like it was like it was blown off. There was nothing felt like it was taken too seriously here. Yeah, there was no sense of urgency. I mean, so like there's you could even see it in the trailer that was released here. One of the characters loses his arm, and it's like met with like comedy and jokes, and to me that doesn't, like, how is that in a Cloverfield movie? I didn't understand. I feel like they were trying to fit this really weird place comedy inside like a serious, or what should have been a serious film, but who am I to say that? I don't even know. Yeah, again, going back to like the arm, the deaths just, I think the deaths is what killed me the most. Like there were characters who would die off, and it was just like that was it, and they weren't even spoken about anymore. The movie was an hour and 40 minutes. You know what I mean? Why weren't these things taken a little bit more seriously? Some positives here. The camera, the visuals were nice. The colors were nice at times. That was one positive, or one of the positives that I had here. The movie often jumped from not found footage, but shaky cam to stable cam, and that's like scene to scene to scene to scene, and that kind of threw me off. I didn't like how that was. Let's see. Okay, let's talk Cloverfield reference. Not much at all, which was fine, because going into it again, I did not expect there to be many references. But whatever was here, and I'm not going to say what it was because it can potentially give it away, it felt so forced and out of place, and it didn't feel right. I mean, yeah, okay, you could say the same for the second movie, 10 Cloverfield Lane, when there was a Cloverfield moment, or a couple Cloverfield moments. It kind of felt a little odd, but it didn't feel like, I just feel like they took clips and they threw it in here and it was like, hey, listen, let's just call this Cloverfield, which is again what I could have said for the last one, but at least the last one had its own like serious story. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much more I want to give away. I don't want to give really much of this away, because just it's there. I want you guys to see this for yourself, and give your own opinions. Overall, here I'm going to just read some more of my notes. Overall, it did feel like like an Alien ripoff. It felt unoriginal. It was a space survival film. I feel like we've seen that so many times, time and time again. Only this time, I don't know. It was just it just wasn't done well. It felt more like a TV episode, a long TV episode, a long space show TV episode to me. There was little to no Cloverfield, which I expected, but it didn't feel like it belonged. The fact that it went straight to Netflix that bothered me, and you could see why they didn't want to put this on the big screen, in my opinion. And yeah, I just overall, I'm not happy with this movie. I was so disappointed, and I kind of knew 30 to 40 minutes into this film that I wasn't liking it, and it just didn't feel right to me. It just felt off, and I mean, yeah, I could not get into this, and I mean, even now, I'm struggling to figure out what I watched, and I apologize for the back and forth. There was not exactly any sense of there was no planning here. I didn't exactly plan this out. I just took notes and kind of winged it. If I had to rate this out of 10, I'd give this a 4 stars out of 10. And this is not going to be one of those films where I'm going to, like 10 Cloverfield Lane, where I'm going to stop, rethink it, and go back and change my mind. I just really did not enjoy this movie at all. And I'm so disappointed because I love the first 2 movies. Yeah, again, sorry there wasn't much order here. I just watched the film. It just happened now. I wanted to kind of put this out there, my first initial thoughts for you guys. Whew, man, not the best film at all. Not a great way to end it. A lot of excitement and a big letdown. But yeah, guys, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this. I want to know what you guys think. Listen, I hope you enjoyed it. I don't want everybody to feel the way that I felt. So please, if you did watch this, let me know down in the description below, or down in the comment section below, what you guys thought. I would love to hear that. I want to know what you guys think of the first 2 films as well. And yeah, your expectations for this if you haven't seen it yet. Again, do not let my opinions here judge your judge if you watch this film or not. Watch it and make your own judgments. Again, guys, if you could hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, that bell button, feel free to do that. Also, social media links and everything are going to be down in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love each and every one of you. I hope you guys are doing great. Have an awesome night. Happy Super Bowl. No, that's already over. All right, guys. 10 Cloverfield Lane. No, it's not Cloverfield. What's the name of the movie? The Cloverfield Paradox.